It's 4th and 26.
Yep, they need a penalty.
Here's May.
Come on, May.
Being pressured, steps up, throws it deep down the middle of the field. And
Lucky that wasn't a pick. That's Drake May's like third turnover
do it here as Jacksonville will
worthy throw of the game.
Of the season.
That stings. Not really. I mean,
they'll escape London by splitting their 2 games.
Patriots started off the game up 10-0, and then they just took the day off. But Drake May got a touchdown on KJ Osborne, and then Jalen Pope couldn't catch the ball because he slipped. Now I see that Jalen Pope is questionable with a head injury. With all due respect, check that nigga's hands because he cannot catch right now to save his life. Yeah, that is genuinely terrible. Drake May gets sacked on 3rd down. There's a minute and 54 left. I guess I'll just see how this plays out, and we'll get into the rest of this video.
It's 5. Wow. So if you wanted to keep hope alive, you had to have this one.
And Tank Bigsby touchdown. 2nd touchdown of the game. Jaguars up 32-16. This is just a yikes.
This all starts with
let's get some stat padding in, Drake, man.
He's going to need some help moving forward.
Yeah, he's going to need a little bit of help, and I think there's a lot of encouraging signs. Obviously, the job he did last week, the way he's pushing the ball down the field, his ability to read the defense.
Let's get that. Let's get Drake May's 300. Let's get Drake May's first career 300-yard game right here. Come on. Let's get this stat pad going. Go. Let's go. Let's get this stat pad going. Go. Give me a shameless 300-yard stat pad game.
And for the most part, they started fast. They did those things. But the problem with being a rookie quarterback is
Jermichael Hasty.
Know what you don't know. And you only have so much time in a day to catch up to what
Jaguars legend Jermichael Hasty having a what's it called?
If you focus a little bit more on your first 15 and the
season high game.
All of a sudden you get through the first 15, and now you got to do a few different things that maybe you haven't focused on as much, and it doesn't look quite.
Let's get this shameless 300-yard passing game from Drake May.
3 passes, that one to Austin Hooper, who gets it inside the 40.
Come on, Drake.
Clock running with under 45 to go.
Let's have no shame. Let's get this 300-yard passing game. Go.
Will head home. No bye week next week. They're going to play host to the New York Jets. Hasty, one-handed grab, gets it inside.
Okay, Jermichael. Come on. Let's try to get a touchdown here. Come on, Goats. Come on. Lock in. 20 seconds. Come on. Let's not have any shame. Of course, Sombernek's second game is against us.
Flags down. Or everybody but the center, something like that. So because of the infraction, there's going to be a 10-second runoff.
No, wait, there's 7 seconds left. Brother, what happened to Shane? We have no timeouts.
I think that's going to do it.
And that's game.
It is indeed. 3 London games, a ton of fun here on NFL Network. More fun for Jacksonville, which improves to 2-5. The New England Patriots fall to 1-6.
Yo, what's up, guys? Today, man, I'll be talking about New England Patriots. They're losing 32-16 to the Jaguars. Drake May, shamelessly or not, I wanted him to kind of stat pad, get his first career 300-yard game. Unfortunately, we had a infraction, apparently a false start, and a 10-second runoff, and the clock was still running. They let the 7 seconds go, and we didn't end up trying to get Drake May's first 300-yard game or his back-to-back 3 touchdown games. So yeah, that's tough. But first things first, we gotta talk about the defense. Getting about 32 points to a Jaguars offense that does have a really good amount of weapons. To me, Brian Thomas Jr., you have Tank Bigsby, Travis Etienne was out, Christian Kirk is a good receiver, Evan Ingram is one of the more underrated tight ends in all of football. The defense, so the passing game for them, I mean, you let Drake May have the biggest game of probably this season, I would say, more so than last week. He threw for like 240, 250 yards last week. Today, 206. Yes, we had some stat padding, some shameless stat padding at the end of the game, but he definitely looked really good. So they made a couple of nice throws. We're going to talk about Jalen Polk just straight up dropping the football, having absolutely no shame, and was slipping on the what's it called, 2-point conversion attempt. Like, what happened to Shame? Run defense today was absolutely pitiful. AVP after the second drive of the game for a good portion of the rest of the game, just awful play calling. The run game was non-existent. The run defense was non-existent. They ran the ball like 20 times. I'm not trolling. They literally damn near ran the ball 20 times. We're lucky to get a 4th and 1 stop on Tank Bigsby. And yeah, this is a game that the Patriots now fall to 1-6. The Jaguars are 2-5. The Jaguars lost this game. Doug Peterson was not making it out of London. There's kind of like this facade that struggling teams, when they lose a game in London, that their head coach does not end up making it back. He's not end up making it back on U.S. soil employed. Let's just say that. And this would have been that game for Doug Peterson, losing to a awful Patriots team. The defense is falling off a cliff. A rookie quarterback, second career start. Running game today was absolutely non-existent. Yeah, so let's just get into a couple of notes I have, and then yeah, so starting it off, I'm a Yankees fan, so and it falling at 5 a.m. the Yankees clinched the first World Series since 2009, which last time they did that I was watching Disney Channel, I was watching Nickelodeon. I wasn't watching baseball. No, at that point I was 7 years old. I was only watching this basketball like maybe like if it was just on TV, but I wouldn't go out of my way to watch it. Yeah. So I'm on like 4.5 hours of sleep, and I was like, oh shit, we're up 10-0. Maybe that a complete waste of my time, and they scored 22 uninsured points. We got a touchdown, and it dropped, and then we slipped on a 2-point conversion. They gave another touchdown, and we didn't get Drake May his 300-yard passing game. So that's tough. But onto the notes. The first drive of the Patriots was absolutely phenomenal. We had our fourth first down on our first drive of the season. Pop Douglas had 2 catches and a 3rd down reception. Polk drop on the first drive. Jalen Polk, you said you have the best hand. You said it's not mental. I don't believe either one of them. It has to be mental at this point. They told us that he had great hands. They said he was consistent. Washington fans, I remember seeing it too from Mina Kimes, who's a Washington fan, and she was saying that we're gonna love Jalen Polk, and that was a really good pick. Jalen Polk, man, I'm not giving up on Jalen Polk. It's only been 7 games. As a reminder, 2 games ago, he was this close. He was a foot against the Dolphins in from scoring a potential game-winning touchdown from Jacoby Brissett. He went from that high to the low of last week drops, and this low, which has to be rock bottom, the drops and slipping on the 2-point conversion. The fact that he even trust Jalen Polk right now to even give him the football. Like, I need to see some more of Kayshawn Boutte, who had a catch today. I need to see some more of Pop Douglas, who had an illness. That's probably even saw some more of Jalen Polk. Kendrick Bourne is still getting his feet wet. Obviously, you have Hunter Henry, tight end. Big fan of him. Yeah. And then we got a legal shift on Pop Douglas on the first drive. Mondre has an 11-yard run on 3rd and 3 on the first drive. That's probably Mondre's only competent play he made all game. He was nursing an injury. He played on and off. A lot of Jermichael Hasty. A lot of Jermichael Hasty, especially in the second half. A lot of Antonio Gibson, especially in the first half. That was an 11-yard run on 3rd down and 3. Jermichael Hasty ends up getting a 16-yard touchdown reception on 3rd and 10. This was, mind you, all in the first drive. Then we got a nice tackle on 3rd and 6 from Jonathan Jones to wrap up Dearness Johnson, who was the backup running back today without the Jaguars having Travis Etienne on the screen pass from Trevor Lawrence. At that point, it was 7-0. Drake May then gets a nice 15-yard run on 3rd down on the second drive. And then Joey Sly ends up making a 41-yard field goal after May can't connect with Kendrick Bourne. There was pressure in his face, and Bourne was very wide open on 3rd down amid some pressure. And then Gonzo gets beat by Brian Thomas Jr. for 58 yards. So Brian Thomas is a stud. I have him fantasy football. I just traded Deebo Samuel for him and Bucky Irving. Hopefully, like Tank Bigsby with Travis Etienne. Hopefully Bucky Irving can snatch Travis Etienne. Hopefully Bucky Irving can snatch Rashad White's running back 1 chain. You know that little baby 4PF where he's snatching up like Rilo Rodriguez or somebody. He's like, so he put a chain on him. They like for like a couple seconds or whatever. He's like, so he puts it on him. Then he just takes that shit off of him. I need him to snatch that chain. just this, I said last week was Chris Gonzalez's worst week in the NFL. Today was his worst week in the NFL. He gives away a 58-yard catch, gives up at least like 70, maybe even 80 receiving yards, sending to Brian Thomas Jr. And then Tank Bigsby gets a power run touchdown. Just he's a power back. ETN's, I guess, the elusive back. Yeah, dude's tough. Dude is tough to take down. Just an absolute dog. Then they get a false start on Hunter Henry, and then Parker Washington gets a punt return touchdown, 96 yards. What the fuck are we doing? It looked like he was gonna get tackled like 10 yards in, and then we just sent out the green grass, and then he turned around and showboated at the 1-yard line and fell into the end zone, which reminds me of the first Patriots game I ever watched, where we lost the Super Bowl to the Giants, and I remember the Giants running back kind of did the same thing. He celebrated by turning himself backwards and then flailing into the end zone, or just falling into the end zone. I want to say flailing into the end zone. Kyle Duggar gets called for pass interference. Bench Jalen Polk, another drop probably. Marcus Jones missed sack on Trevor Lawrence on 3rd down, and T-Lots are running for a 1st down. Tank Bigsby, then we end up stopping him on 4th down. It's right around the time I was getting up and about to take a shower, like 11:40 to 12. And then Drake May ends up getting, while I'm in the bathroom, Drake May ends up getting a 32-yard reception on 3rd down to Hunter Henry. It's a really good catch from a veteran. Shout out to him. And then made a Booty right after a nice 30-yard play. That was like back-to-back, like 30-plus yard plays. That was Booty's only reception of the day. Need to see some more to Kayshon Boutte. He showed a lot, especially with that catch. This really was just that one catch. He had a couple other nice plays as well. He's been pretty good in the blocking game. The Jaguars dropped 2 picks. They had really 3 turnover-worthy plays today from Drake May. Micah Winter get called for a false start. So far, he has not been worth the contract extension, either at right guard or at right tackle, unfortunately. Drake May then has a 22-yard touchdown dot to KJ Osborne on a nice, maybe 3rd down. He put it in a nice pocket, and KJ Osborne was able to catch it and instantly fall to the ground untouched. Jalen Polk ends up slipping on a 2-point conversion attempt. Bench this nigga. Awful run defense. The Jaguars ran the ball at least 20 times in a row. From the 3-minute mark of the 3rd to the 3-minute mark of the 4th, they were literally just running the football. Did an 11-yard drive. Thankfully, they didn't end up scoring because if he stopped Tank Bigsby on 4th and 1, somehow, some way, we stopped that Tank. Of course, his name is Tank Bigsby. He's the fucking Tank. Then we got a holding on Demonte Jacobs, and we ended the game with a false start. They didn't say who, they didn't single anybody out, but they ended up leading to a 10-second runoff, and then the game had 10 seconds left, and it just let the clock run out. So yeah, all in all, only thing keep me saying is Drake May, Rob Mayo, AVP, DeMarcus Covington. Your jobs are not safe. Your jobs are not safe. And it just sucks with Jeremy Springer. He's been getting a little bit of credit. The special teams has actually been competent, part of the Patriots, and then his unit gives up a 96-yard touchdown, punt return touchdown to Parker Washington. So that's not ideal at all. Yeah, not impressed at all with the coaching staff. Only guy I'm really impressed with is Drake May. Another week where he has absolutely no run game, and he has to be the leading rusher once again, basically. Drake May today, 26 of 37, 276 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. Ramondre Stevenson, 7 carries, 18 yards. Drake May, 3 for 18, so he literally was tied with Mondre, who was pitiful today. Aside of that 1 run for 11 yards, he had 6 carries for 7 yards. 6 carries for 5 yards, my brother in Christ. Brother, ew. Now, the big Achilles heel for the Jaguars was their pass defense, not their run defense, so yeah. Antonio Gibson, 3 carries for 4 yards. Michael Hasty, 2 carries for -2 yards. They had the run game stopped today. Yeah, Hunter Henry today was our leading receiver. 8 catches for 92 yards. Michael Hasty, 5 for 49 and a touchdown right here.
Target. May swings it out. That's JaMychal Hasty making a cut inside the 10, inside the 5, and he has a touchdown.
to open up the game. Keyshawn Woody, 1 catch for 33 yards. That was his catch right after the Hunter Henry catch in the 4th quarter. Austin Hooper, 4 catches for 32 yards. KJ Osborne, 2 catches, 26 yards and a touchdown right here.
Yeah, you got a drive coming. I think you really got to, when you get down there, go for touchdowns.
Well, there's your touchdown.
Go for
touchdowns. KJ Osborne, 22 yards and the touchdown.
This is a pretty good throw by May and Osborne, who's been fluctuating between. He was inactive a couple weeks ago and not really getting too many snaps. Haven't really heard too much about KJ Osborne in game. The veteran ended up scoring his first touchdown of the season, if I'm not mistaken. Remember, he had a play with Drake May as well in the preseason against the Commanders, where we getting called for a flag. We saw Drake May's arm talent. Yeah. And Demario Douglas, 2 receptions today for 14 yards. Both of those were in the 1st quarter. And then he went down with an illness and just wasn't able to really get back into fruition. So that sucks because they had really good connection. And then he just didn't play. So, yeah. Tries to see him come back in the game. But, yeah. Kendrick Bourne, 1 catch for 14 yards. Needs to see some more from KB, but he's still obviously working himself back from the torn ACL last season. Antonio Gibson, 1 for 9. Mondre, 2 for 7. Jalen Polk, 0 receptions. I'm going to check on the targets because he was targeted at least, I want to say, like 4 times today, and he just was not able to simply do his job. Jalen Polk just, unfortunately, was just not able to do his job today. Jalen Polk had how many, I'm not sure why my thing keeps going out, my monitor. Jalen Polk today had 3 targets, and he didn't catch a single ball today. He was lucky to catch a pass last week, unlike one of the final plays of the game. Yeah, man, that's tough. And defensive leading tackler, it was Kyle Duggar with 10 tackles. We did not get a single sack. The quarterback pressure has been pitiful. Keon White, I haven't seen anything of note of you in terms of getting to the quarterback. Maybe he's getting pressures, I don't know. But yeah, man, Bryce Behringer, 4 punts, 209 yards, 52.3 yards per punt, 3 inside of the 20. And the Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence really didn't have to do too much because Tank Bigsby was a tank. He dominated us. 15 of 20, 193 yards and a touchdown for Trevor Lawrence. Made a couple of nice throws, had a couple of nice runs as well. Tank Bigsby, 26 carries, 118 yards, 2 touchdowns. Dearness Johnson, 9 for 38. Trevor Lawrence, 2 for 13. Brian Thomas Jr., 2 carries for 2. And they also had a punt return touchdown from Parker Washington, 96 yards, took it all the way. Brian Thomas Jr., 5 catches, 89 yards, and a touchdown. Nice little 7-yard run to give the Jaguars the first touchdown of the game. Looked like a miscommunication between the Patriots secondary. Maybe like a nice little slant or cross or whatever it was. And then he ends up getting a 58-yard catch on console, which generally just killed me. Evan Ingram, second game back after missing a good amount of weeks ever since he last played in week 1. Then he played last week, then he played this week. Evan Ingram, 5 catches, 35 yards. Dearness Johnson, 3 for 32. Kirk, 1 for 24. Gabe Davis, 1 for 13. And yeah, the leading tackler today was Devin Lloyd with 7 tackles. He also got a sack. He also got a sack from the former number 1 overall pick, Trevon Walker. Their punter, Logan Cook, punted the ball twice, 70 yards, 35 yards per punt, and 2 inside the 20. Now on to the overall yards. The, what's it called? The Jaguars, apparently they had 364 total yards, but I want to look into this because they had 193 passing yards. Let me see this quick math real quick. 193 plus 171. 364 yards, so that is correct. So okay, 364 passing yards, we had 295. 364 overall yards, we had 295. They had 193 passing yards, we had 257, even though I think we had 276 with Drake. Maybe we did. I don't know why that just didn't say the correct number. I don't know why this is 257 and this is 276, but I digress. Drake May was actually sacked twice today. Rushing yards, they had 171. We had 38. Yards per play, they had 6.2. We had 5.5. First downs, they had 23. We had 17. On third down, they were 6 for 10. We were 6 for 12. On fourth down, we were 0 for 1. They were 0 for 1 as well. overall total plays, we have 54. They had 59. We allowed 2 sacks. They allowed 0. We punted the ball 4 times. They punted the ball twice. We had 7 penalties for 35 yards. They had 4 for 24. No turnovers today, even though Drake May had 3 turnover plays, 2 drop picks, and at the end on 4th down, that was a kind of a turnover-worthy play as well. Like they potentially might have batted it down. Time possession, the Jaguars dominated us 33 minutes and 8 seconds to 26 minutes and 38 seconds for us. And the Patriots lose their 6th consecutive game after starting off the season 1-0 with a 16-10 win over the Bengals, who notoriously struggle for the first 2 weeks of the season, and the Zach Taylor, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase era. And the Patriots lose 32-16. They are 1-6. They play against the Jets in their next game. Please tell me we're coming off a bye week. We are not coming off a bye. We don't have a bye week until literally the week of December 8th, so that's pretty tough. We play the Jets tomorrow. We play the Jets next week, Sunday, in Foxborough. Not looking forward to this awful defense against Demon Breece Hall, Demon Braylon Allen, Demon Devontae Adams, Demon Garrett Wilson. You know they're going to get the Allen Lazard game somehow, some way. He's going to own us once again. Aaron Rodgers' legacy game. He had his best game of the season against us. And I'm not looking forward to playing that freak once again. So at the end of the day, only thing keeping me sane is Drake May. God awful run defense. Jalen Polk needs to be benched if he's not performing and catching passes. Nobody needs to develop, but he's not an incredibly young guy. He was in Washington for a little bit. It was one of the stars with himself, Michael Penix Jr., Romo Dunze. They went to the national championship. He was on a big stage last season. They didn't win the Natty, but he was on the big stage. He was on the big stage against Michigan. Like Jalen Pope, my brother in Christ. I'm not giving up on you, but you need to be better, man. You need to be better. Yeah. Tough loss. Drake May. Love you, GOAT. Yeah. Other than that, yo, that is the video. So go down below, drop a like, comment down below, sub up, follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and TikTok. Your boy John. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and I'm out, man. Peace.